Hello, everyone. Hi. Having my morning coffee. Been up since 6, pricing records. So I don't really where to go with these videos, but I'm off from my regular work in Fridays, working only with records in my sort of small shop area here. And yeah, I just want to sort of talk a little bit, doing some kind of thing here to really talk about the shop and stuff going in and out of the shop. But also, I mean, records, obviously. Yeah, I'm gonna say a lot because I talked Swedish for several days and now I'm switching to English. Yeah, so I want to go through some new stuff that I got in the shop, new records, not new arts or stuff like that, but reissues that I bought and selling in the shop. I'm also going to show you some new used records that I'm putting up for sale in my shop. Some news about a record fair that I'm going to, and I have a notepad here. And also, I'm going to show you some stuff that I've cleaned. And also, because this is also a thing with having a record shop and going out, seeking out collections, stuff like that. I mean, I'm off from my work once a week. So that means that, sure, I need to make money selling records. Otherwise, I can't put food on the table. But I don't have like I'm not sort of, I don't have to sell a lot of records, if you know what I mean, to get by. If you are working with this full time, I guess that you have to sell pretty much everything to finance sort of your life. But in my case, I have the luxury of keeping all the stuff that I really need or want to have in my collection. For now, I mean, I can always sell them through the shop later on. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that too. I see there's 6 people watching. Maybe, I mean, one is my mom and got a nice Instagram hello also from James Bishop. So hi, James, if you're watching. But shoot me comments and or questions about sort of records and new releases and stuff like that, and I'll try to answer them. I'm also going to go through the new the pre-orders. I have some stuff up on pre-order that I want to show you, so I'm going to flip through the screen. So I'm going to show you those labels and also talk a little bit about my sort of my thoughts about that. Yeah, so let's just dive into it to show some records, I guess. I'm going to start with the new ones, or the used ones that I'm putting up for sale in my shop. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 or 16 crates of used records that I haven't priced yet. So obviously a lot. And I just picked a few that I think are sort of nice core stuff in nice collection or in condition. And I'm going to start with this one. I mean, everyone have this, I guess. Led Zeppelin 3. This is a classic. This is, if not a first, an early one. I think it's one of the firsts. So I'm going to show you why. This is actually from my own collection. I've had this for 12, 15 years or even more maybe. But I'm putting that up for sale because I got an even nicer copy in a collection I bought. So I'm swapping that, and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit later. This is also a classic. I already have it in my collection, so I'm putting it up for sale. This is Yes Results Benefit. There's third or second release, I think. Really nice copy of this also. I mean, these are not expensive records at all. It's core stuff that I feel like everyone's going into this hobby could pick up for a reasonable price. Cheers. So 8 watching, please leave me a comment so I know that all of this works. You know, the audio is okay and the picture is okay, not lagging. I'm here in my garage. You know, I renovated my garage. So yeah, thank you. Hi, Jonas. Hi. Jonas to Jonas. Vinyl Stockholm. Check him out on YouTube, the best YouTube channel out there today. Hope you're all doing great. I watched your video, Jonas, about Dan Bush. Amazing. I mean, I watch it. I have over an hour's drive to work every day, so I'm sort of listening to most of the longer YouTube videos as almost like a radio program. Or a podcast, you know. So it's I can't comment, but I gave you the thumbs up. Yeah, yes, I did. Okay, so traffic. This is also one that I found this in a collection. I actually have the original Island UK press, so I'm not going to keep this one. So this is going out for sale. But I think that this was only for the Nordic market with this sort of artwork and that label. So a pretty nice one when it comes to traffic records, I guess. I see them a lot on fairs and stuff like that. It's not a expensive one either. Jim Larsson, hi. And we also have Göran Eriksson, Monial. Jörgen, sorry, Jörgen. Another one that I'm putting up for sale, and I think I have 2 copies of this that came in different collections, and I also have this obviously for my own in my own collection. This is a very nice, clean copy of Aladdin Insane. Fantastic Bowie record. So I think I'm going to compare this to my copy, so I don't sell the earliest one. I mean, with the acoustic analog production 75 series, they put out Foreigners records, and I know a buddy of mine, he bought that through my shop or through me. I don't have them on shop because I don't feel that they really suit the sort of, but I can get everything through my distributors. Anyway, when this came up in minty condition in a collection, like I have to try this out before I sell it, but I think it's also a core sort of rock record that a lot of people like. I can't really say that I even have listened to it. And some rock also, Deep Purple made in Japan. I know that I sold a copy of this and I was super surprised how cheap they go. Like I don't think I even got like 10 euro for it, maybe 10, but that's like not much. Rainbow also on stage, great copy. I don't think that these go for much. Maybe it's sort of a metal record or a hard rock record that isn't really for the hardcore collector. I don't know. This is also a classic, Rainbow Rising. So I'm not going to put this up in my shop. None of the rock records are really going up in sort of the crates here. I'm going to sell them on Discogs or Swedish eBay called Tradera, because I think that when you go here, dig in my small crates, I want it to be psych and prog mostly. I have a little bit of jazz, but I'm really thinking of getting rid of my jazz, just stop selling that in shop, only having it on Tradera and Discogs, because I have so much stuff right now that I have to sell that it's nice to just out in the countryside here on the west coast of Sweden. When you go here, you have an amazing sort of selection of just prog and psych records. That would be kind of cool and strange also. So yeah, a little bit more Rainbow. Let's skip those. This is also one that is fairly new press. It has a barcode. This is also from my own collection, but I found a first press in minty condition, so I'm putting this up for sale. I have it in one of these gatefold plastic sleeves, which I think is kind of a hit and miss, because it works perfectly for some records, and for some records it's hopeless because you get so much air around it. I've contacted. Let's talk about that. Yeah, this is my channel. I can talk about whatever I want. I actually contacted, I think, 5 manufacturers or sellers really of plastic sleeves to get someone to do a gatefold sleeve with thinner, and there is thinner quality, so you have an ultra clear version, but with a resealable flap. So you know the standard resealable sort of, I don't know if it's called Japanese plastic sleeves that you have with the glue strip, you know. Anyway, if you put those two on both sides of a gatefold, you don't get this. This is the worst thing with these. If this were tucked all the way back and didn't make any sort of a resealable flap would help out with that. It doesn't matter exactly how big the gatefold is. It would always be tucked in nicely. And I contacted a Japanese or if it was Chinese company that does plastic sleeves, but I had to order like 50,000 sleeves or something like that to get that going. They could make it, but I had to like order a pallet of it. And I don't have the funds for that. And maybe I'm the only one that wants one of those. But if you do it with a resealable flap, then I mean, all problems are solved, I guess, with problems. These also, they go for peanuts, like super cheap. These are some of the best records that have ever been recorded. Perfect condition, nice thick US press. I don't think they even go for like $10 here in Swedish on Swedish eBay nowadays. Feels like a lot of collectors has scooped up the cores that they need. So yeah, but and spoiler alert, I'm going to a record fair here in Sweden. I actually got the opportunity to go to Växjö. It's a just 1.5 hour drive from here. To attend a record fair in 2 weeks, and I have so much shit. So I just thought, like, yeah, they hooked me up with 2 tables, and I'll just go there. See if I think we're like maximum 50 sellers, so it's a pretty small fair. But you know, if I sell something, I sell something. It's gonna be a nice, cool way of trying out being on a fair. I've been to some, but I never really focused on it, and I feel like I'm focused now. So yeah, okay. Moving on, the Who 70s press. I got a nice, clean, minty, fresh mono UK original press of this through a friend of mine. So this is also from my collection, going up for sale. Not the best sound quality, to be honest, but then again, I don't know if any Who record are perfect in sound quality. I got the Vinyl Me Please 2 LP set version of Towns Van Zandt live at the Old Quarter. One of the best records ever recorded. So this is also going up for sale. It's my own copy. Unfortunately, a little bit bent corner there, but beggars can't be choosers, right? So yeah, I think that that's it. So I'm going to show this also. This is also one that I was super surprised of, because I was looking for this many years before I found this copy. Intact, very nice. This is I think a early 70s reissue, because you have the NEMS label on it and immediate. But this is also not a super expensive record at all. Like maybe 30 euro or something like that on Swedish eBay. Maybe a little bit more if you're on Discogs, but yeah, I guess that they sold a lot of copies of this one. Classic. And in a collection, I found a minty, fresh first UK press of this. So I'm swapping this for that. Yeah, let's see here. Just throw questions at me if you have anything. Let's see here. Jörgen, as a record shop owner, have you noticed any new trends in rising prices, certainly records and or genres that are more expensive nowadays? That's a great question. I know that it's sort of a hot topic right now with rising prices, and store owners like Mike the Ingroove did in my opinion at least, a fabulous video just comparing stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s up till now, comparing prices with inflation. And those were obviously American, sort of the American inflation, and maybe it's a little bit different in Europe and or also here in Sweden. But I feel like, yes, obviously prices has gone up, and prices has gone up a lot on new records. I mean, I feel ashamed when I'm pricing some of the that I sell, because I feel like it's, it's not worth it. In some cases, it's just not worth it. But then again, people are buying it. Just as an example, I got, let's jump to this. This is Gandalf. This is a US import record. I've been having my eyes on this since this was released on Record Store Day, I think last year or 2 years ago. Didn't get it back then. It's sold out. I contacted Jackpot, who does this in the US, and they said, like, wait, just hold your horses. We will repress this in a different color. So lo and behold, a clear version came out. Now, when I'm ordering this for my shop, I have to put 640 Swedish crowns on this, because if I put anything less, I'm losing money. And 640 Swedish crowns, like 62, 60, maybe 60 euro. It's insane. Like it's a price that I would never pay for it. I wouldn't pay 600 Swedish crowns for this. But maybe I make like 50 Swedish crowns selling this. That's my margin on this one. So I'm not getting rich on these records. So the question I have to ask myself is, do I buy this and sell it in my shop? Is it more bad will to sell this because it's such a super expensive record? Or do I, take one copy into the shop, see if anyone buys it? Otherwise, I'll keep it for myself down the line. Or something like that, or maybe it goes out of print and people are starting to pay 150 euro for a copy. I mean, I have to take a chance, but it's a super expensive record. And when I saw the price I had to put on this, I was almost like ashamed to put it on there. And it sucks. Like I hate taking money from people. I'm the worst businessman in the entire universe, because when it comes to the sort of the payment of the things that I have, I hate it, because it's about the music, right? And we love collecting these things, but unfortunately we have to sort of exchange money for it. I don't know, a small sort of rant or philosophy around that. So that's new records. But there's, I mean, I tried to buy they had a sale on it's called Repertoire Records, fairly known record reissue record label. So they had a sale, and when they have a sale, I try to buy as many as I sort of can or dare, because this is money tied up in my shop. This is money that I have to put out in front and hope that someone buys it. But maybe I can put like a 250 or 300 Swedish crowns on this one, which in today's prices on records is a bargain. So I try to jump on sales when they are, just to have stuff in my shop that is a little bit less pricey, but in the same genre that I love and want to have in my shop. But US, when I import like Riding Easy, from Dylan Noble Records, I'm gonna show those pre-orders later on, and Ancient Greece, it's US import. There are US taxes and VAT that I have to pay. and then there's the dollar or the euro compared to the Swedish crown. So when it all adds up, getting here with shipping also, it's pricey records. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks, but it's also nice to be one, offering it to people too, because they are not that common here in Sweden, at least. So yeah, and when it comes to used records, sure, a lot of used records has skyrocketed in price. But I think that in the beginning of this sort of video, I showcased some records that is just core records that don't go for that much money. I mean, like this is a 70s reissue of one of the best records ever recorded, in my opinion. And I don't think that that this is going to be. I think that this is going to be south of 30 euro in when people are bidding on this on Swedish eBay. And I mean, less than 30 euro is like maybe 2/3 of the price of a reissue that you buy this for, and then you get a sort of early repress, and I think that's kind of cool. So I think that with super rare records and sought after records, first pressing, stuff like that, yeah, the price has skyrocketed because people really want them. But when it comes to the core, I feel like they almost go for less nowadays than 2 years ago or something like that. But it's just, yeah, my opinion. I guess I'm the one with the mic here today. So yeah, CSN it's very good. I almost listened to that more than the Deja Vu record. I have to be honest. Would you come to a record fair in Malmö? Sure, but it's like hard. I only do this once a week, so it's hard to find sort of time and so forth for it. But Malmö, sure, I have a 2-hour ride to Malmö, no problem. Gothenburg, obviously, would be nice, but yeah, and if I go there myself, it's also hard because Växjö now, when I go to Växjö, the record fair, I'm thinking of like, if I go there early, I have 2 hours before the sort of the ordinary citizens are walking in, and I can dig through the other sellers' records and try to find some stuff for myself and for the shop maybe. So that's also sort of a tactic that I have with that. But when I go myself, there's no one who can sort of sit by my stall, so I can't move around that much. So, but this time my wife is actually going. I bribed her, so she's actually sitting and taking payments from people if they want to buy anything. Audience also very, very good. Yeah, I agree. Jonas writes, I have started to use gatefold plastic sleeves. Okay, yeah, the thinner clear plastic, double LP protective sleeves made from CPP. It's a tighter and looks really great. I agree. In my shop, I have the thicker ones that I sell, but I always order the thicker one and the clear. No, the other way around. I have the clear one in my shop that I sell. Because when it comes to thick Stoughton jackets of Blue and Tone Poets or the Atlantic 75, I feel like the thicker ones are the ones that look the best for that. They almost get sort of sturdy as a box set. But with European gatefolds, which is much more flimsier, I feel like the clearer ones are the better ones. But with that being said, I hate when the air gets in the back of the sort of the spine. If it gets to be too much air, I'm skipping it. I'm taking an ordinary plastic sleeve. So yeah, who wants to finance a flap version with me? We have toured like 50,000, so it's going to be the equivalent of a house, I think, to order that. Yeah, so that's I'm going to show some more used records also that I actually cleaned. That's going into my own collection, but some of them are actually out in the shop also because I swapped them. So I'm going to show more records. Up in the wall right now, I have a really clean press that I bought in Holland of the United States of America. Awesome. Let's say, there you go. Awesome psych record. I have a first UK press of that, but I found a Dutch reissue from the 70s. So, I mean, I put a price tag of 200 Swedish crowns on that one. I know when I was looking for that, I couldn't find anyone. So just having a early press of that in the shop is kind of cool. But for 200 Swedish crowns, I feel like it's a sort of a nice thing for someone to just stumble in here, find it, not super expensive, can take home. I also found Sir Lord Baltimore Kingdom Come record in a collection that I bought, and this, I think that I showed this. Oh shit! This was also a sort of find in Holland, but the Soft Machine Volume 2. This is the this is the sort of the alternate cover. I think that they only made this cover for the Dutch listeners, like 2 years after the first one was released, something like that. It's a kind of a strange one, but a cool one, in my opinion. Yeah. So that's that. Let's see here. New records. I don't think that I have too many new records to show. Except for that Gandalf. There is also from Repertoire Records, Steam Hammer. They had, as I said, a sale, so these are going up pretty cheap. Stone the Crows live at the BBC Paris Theatre. 71 and 72, 2 LP set also on sale. So I bought that. Gas. This is Endless Happiness. I think that this is a sketchy, maybe an unofficial. I don't know. I bought this from Gershon. This was also on sale, so it's not going to be super expensive. And this was, I actually bought this for myself to do a review or something like that down the line. But I'm putting it up in shop, see if anyone wants it. Also Paris Theatre, 1972. Don't know the sound quality, but I mean, anything Udicil. Yeah, and Kosh Records, 45 RPM. I think I have a free jazz record on Kosh that sounded pretty good. I think I showed a lot of the. This is also from a collection he had. I think he bought a lot of records in during the pandemic, and then now he sold it. I know that. Some people in the vinyl community have talked about people now selling their stuff that they bought getting into the game during the sort of the pandemic, and this is the first time I actually see that. One guy called me up. He said he had like 1,000 records. I went over there. It was more like 1,500 records, and I ended up buying 500. These were some of the ones that I bought. This is like played once or something like that. Another one, this is the ordinary sort of run-of-the-mill Pink Floyd you buy now that you sell, but still sealed, so easy one to sell for me. Rare Earth, Get Ready, also new. And last but not least, Jethro Tull, this Seal of Gene. I mean, these records obviously bought during the pandemic or around that time, and he just got tired, I think, of the hobby, finding new stuff to do with his money, and so we made a deal. So it's going to be kind of cool to see how the sort of the ones that got into the hobby and now are selling those reissues, how that is going to really affect the market. Especially if you got into it, saw the prices and your median on Discogs rising, and think that you are going to get a lot for these records, and then you go into the shop realizing that new Dark Side of the Moon that you can buy on any sort of in any shop now in plastic, you get like maybe less than half of what you paid for it, because so many are getting into the shop selling their stuff now. I don't know. Questions. Nothing. Okay. So yeah, this record fair in Växjö. I don't know. Two tables. I'm trying to price as many records as I can today. I have 2 weeks to until the date is here, so I'm going to try to do that. And the ones that I don't sell is going into the shop, and later on down the line, maybe out on Swedish eBay. So yeah, let's see what we can find there, shall we? Let's do some pre-orders. So I'll see if I can switch this mother. Come on, how do I do this? Okay, solo, exit solo. I'm trying to get the screen layout. Press Shift 6. I should have tested this out. I want to show you the at this stage. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? Okay, fuck it. I'll go. You see me now? Okay. So the Gershon pre-orders are in, and they are moving fast. The Gershon always, or most often, put out 4 titles every month, and they do like 100 on colored vinyl, as we all know, and then black version. And the black versions are available for a long time to come. But the colored versions, if you're interested in that, flies off sort of the pre-orders. And the one that I was most excited about this month was the Bloody Mary, because I have buddies of mine who has the originals, and they have talked a lot about that record. It's a super cool record, and no one really knows which players are playing on it. So the booklet in this case will be awesome to read. That one sold out. So I have like maybe 10 customers that got it through my shop and pre-ordered it. So I got the colored versions for them, but now it's all gone. And the second one, which is also one that I'm super excited about, is the Mew record. And that's also sold out now. So the only ones left is the HMS Bounty with Things, and also the Mama Lion. And the funny thing with Mama Lion is that I bought a mint copy from a guy on Discogs like 6 months ago, which was awesome. I wrote to him, said that with the Mama Lion record in mint condition, obviously the bars has to be intact, right? Because there are bars going on the cover, on the gatefold, so like a die cut thing. And he said, yeah, they are intact. Sent it, came here, not intact. They were like ripped off. So there were no bars on it. And he paid the money back. I didn't have to send the record. So I have it here in my shop. A buddy of mine is going to get it. Anyway, in Holland, I got a minty clean, fresh version. Now I have the bars intact. And just 1 week later, getting back from Den Bosch, Gershon is putting out the pre-orders for the Mama Lion with the die-cut gatefold. That's kind of cool. So happenstance or whatever it's called. Great record, like really, really great record. Shit, that's still available with colored version, but I bet it's going to be sold out pretty fast. Let's see here. Hasse Elmerson is writing, isn't it time for you to start a record shop in Stockholm? No way. I lived in Stockholm for a while. It's not my city. To have a vacation in Stockholm, it's one of the best cities in the world, I have to say, especially in the summertime. It's a beautiful city, great people, so many awesome sort of venues and shops and museums, and the record market in Stockholm is probably the second best in the entire Swedish sort of record city thingy. But working in Stockholm. I hated it. I had like I lived outside of town. It took me 1.5 hours to get to the Swedish public television that I worked on back then. So I had like a 3 hour. It wasn't my thing. Like shit, I live in the countryside. This is perfect for me. I have 10-minute drive into my town here. It would be nice to have a record shop here in my town, because we don't have any. So I see that people are starting to drive to my small shop, and obviously I have outgrown this already, just months after I renovated. But don't tell my wife. But I'm going to have to deal with what I have. That's just it. Or Norrköping. No, no. Maybe Norrköping would be better than Stockholm, in my opinion, but no. Yeah, come to Stockholm. No. Yeah, I would love to visit and hang out, having drinks, listening to and dig for records, but as a vacation or a business trip, not as work. No way. Yeah. Okay. So where were we? Some clean records. Yeah. Okay. No. Gershon. So that's the pre-orders for Gershon. Get in shop, order them if you are interested in them. Let's see here. Next one. Okay, so it's Noble Records. The Underground Fire, when it came out, I had talked with Dylan from Noble Records for a year, I think, nagging him to give me copies so I can sell it in my shop to you guys. And he agreed right from the start. But I think that he sort of regretted it when they came out, because they sold like this. But he sent me, so I think that a handful of people got the Underground Fire, was awesome. So thank you so much, Dylan. Now he's up for the next one, which is Dry Water. It's going to be awesome, cut from the Analog Master tapes, if I understood correctly. Done all the way through, done perfectly, and I actually asked him yesterday on a message if I was getting copies this time around too, but he hasn't answered. He has a huge collection that he bought of 100,000 records, I think, so he's probably going through them. And there's Black Friday coming up in his shop and stuff like that also, so I don't blame him. But hopefully, and everything is pointing at me having that for pre. Hi, think I'm back. Stream froze. Yeah. Sorry for that. Are we back? Internet out here. And putting down a wire, so I have internet out. let's see if this works. Okay. Yeah, dry water is going to be awesome. I agree 100%. Okay, moving on to the next pre-order. It's going to be Tennessee River Crooks. I talked with Daniel from Writing Easy Records. He's putting that up. Him and Lance is doing that. And obviously I'm going to have it on pre-order, but he asked me to wait until they got it up. So I'm just waiting for Daniel to give me the okay, sort of, to get that. It's going to be awesome. And last but not least, okay, yeah, and also Doc Rocket is coming in. So with the Brown Acid 19 Sublime Media exclusive, I'm also getting Doc Rocket. All of you that pre-ordered that is going to get that. Noble Records is doing an exclusive of that, which is cool. But so I'll have the standard version of that, and also Galaxis from Ancient Greece Records is also coming in that package, but all are gone, unfortunately. I can get more, but it's going to take some time. But the ones that pre-ordered, no problem. The ones that have ordered, no problem. But I think that it's I knew I took some extra copies just to be like on the safe side if anyone came afterwards. But it's as you saw with US imports, it's expensive. I have to prepay everything, and it's a lot of money to just put out up front. So yeah, okay. I think that is it. If you have any questions about the pre-orders or any suggestions about other pre-orders that I forgot, let me know. I can get my hands on pretty much anything. And Daniel from Writing Easy Records is the best guy on planet Earth. He is actually working as a shipping hub for me. That's why I can do all of this. To be honest, like, he is the reason why I can do everything like this, because I order from Dylan, from Adam, from Lance, and everyone is shipping to Daniel. He holds it for me, and when it's time to ship sort of the Writing Easy Records, he bundles it up all together and send as one package. So I get one shipping, because if I was to pay shipping to Sweden from all those four, it wouldn't work. So he is the main reason why we have these titles here in Sweden available. So yeah, okay. So just showing some records that I just cleaned. I'm going to put in my own collection, and if I'm putting it in, or in some cases at least, they are also going out in the shop because I swapped them. And as I said in the beginning of this video, that's one of the main sort of the most awesome thing of having a record shop and going out, seeking out collections and stuff like that. You find amazing stuff. And in my case, I keep most of the good stuff for myself, because I'm a record collector first and foremost. This is pretty awesome. I have the Analog Productions 45 RPM version. I just got that. Sounds like a dream. And lo and behold, this arrived in a collection that I bought. This is a first UK stereo press with the US cover. So if I understood it correctly, and I have tried to seek out information about this, but I mean, the first UK is rare in its own, but with the US cover, it's sort of the first ones that came. I think that they used the US covers before they could press or print their own. So I might be mistaken here, but I think that the UK covers or the European covers are in laminated covers, and this is the sort of the typical US. So a little bit rare, and I looked it up on Discogs. It sold for like €300. I think there were copies up for 300 upwards. 500 wanting it, 60 that had it. So I put it up for like 250 or something like that. But in a way, it's a pretty strange release, because anyone can Frankenstein the shit out of that, I guess. just getting a UK one and a US one, and then swapping but in itself, I think that the UK first stereo press is pretty rare, and this is in perfect condition. This is also one that I swapped for a 70s. This is also a very early US press. Strange Days. The second one, I think. Still waiting for my 45 RPM copy of that. So that will probably get out for sale when I get that. They sound like a dream, and I don't need the originals, really. All the Doors. Traffic, again, fantastic record. Really, really good. Swap that. This is also a classic. I think that this costs like peanuts. You can get this for 10 euro or less. And this is in perfect condition also. First German press of Procol Harum, Whiter Shade of Pale, without the song A Whiter Shade of Pale on it. So my 70s reissue that looks like shit and sounds even worse actually have Whiter Shade of Pale on it. So I don't know if I'll keep that just to have the song, or if I'll seek out the 7-inch, and I don't know. This is the stuff that keeps me up at night. Electric Flag, long time coming, classic. I mean, this is that's our first UK press, I think. Yeah, on CBS. Swap that in my collection. Hard Road, John Mayall, and the Blues Breakers. This is with Peter Green. Actually, I prefer this over the Beano with Eric Clapton. This is a first English unboxed Decca, which is kind of cool. This guy who had these records, he took such a good care of them. He had them. He told me, like, when he went to parties back in the day when he got these in his youth, he always like had an eye on his records. He was the only one that could play them, put the needle down and stuff like that. And he always, no matter how drunk he was during that evening, he always took the records home with him. So and without writing on the covers and stuff like that. With a little help from my friends. That's a Scandinavian press, and this was also kind of cool. This is also a first German press, I think, on the Steamboat label. Classic Fleetwood Mac. And in this case, because I have a 70s reissue, I think I'm going to keep that, because that has Oh Well on it, which this doesn't have. And Oh Well is my favorite track of all Fleetwood Mac tunes. 2 more to go. The Herd, Paradise Lost, was also in that collection that I bought. So I'm going to keep this for now, at least. See what, if I like it. If I don't like it, it goes out in the shop. And last but not least, and this is not from a collection, this is my latest purchase, one that I wanted for so long, and I'm going to show this on Instagram, and I'm probably going to show it in my recent Vinyl Finds video when I have played it, and I'm ready to actually file it. But I'll show it to you. This is Can't Get Enough with Hero Chapter. This is the second press on Bellaphone Records. I think that the first press had a white label, and the second German press was with the colored one. This is in perfect condition, and I got it for a very good price. A friend of mine had a friend who wanted to get rid of it. He needed some money, so he asked me, and the price was just like, I couldn't pass it up, and I have no money right now, but I couldn't pass it up. It was too good of a deal to skip. So awesome. Came home yesterday. I also sell some books in the shop. This is a recommended one. Do not sell at any price. It's the story of see, what's the name of it? I think he passed not too long ago. Blah, 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 a guy. He's on YouTube also. With the new Beatles box set, there's these sort of almost LP-esque books of all the records. I have those in shop too. Not expensive at all. And this is the story and sort of awesome photos of each and every recording session and what end up as a record. I have like 4 or 5 of those in the shop. Let's see, there's the books that I'm selling. And last but not least, this is a must for any vinyl head. This is like vinyl collecting from scientific standpoint, like a guide to record collecting now, but it's already outdated. So this, when it comes to, because they look at it from sort of a economical standpoint, which is super cool. But obviously a year after that was released, it's like the sums doesn't end up. But as sort of a read, it's a cool read, and also very inexpensive. So a cool one for any vinyl head. I think that's it. If there's anyone left watching this, yeah, I don't have like any plans for these videos other than I think it's cool to just connect with people on my Fridays. And at 10 o'clock, I feel is a pretty good time, so I can have my morning coffee and just chat for an hour, showing some records, talking shit, and answering questions. I might not do it every Friday, but I'm gonna try to do it as regular as I can, as long as I have something to say, at least. So yeah, so if you have suggestions of a name for this, that would be cool, because I call it Shop Talk and I don't have, that sounds stupid. And also topics that you would like me to talk about, that would be interesting thing to know about the shop. So yeah, that's it. Have a great day, everyone. I'm going to price a lot of records now. So yeah.